It's played host to 2 Super Bowls, and that's Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by their quarterback from Central Florida. It's Blake Bortles.
I don't care how many accolades you had in college. There's no such thing as a can't-miss quarterback. But Blake Bortles has shown in his time in the NFL that he's a guy that you can build a team around.
On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And right away, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they're going to get the football just outside the 10 at the 11-yard line.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
And the offense will be looking to get at least some of this yardage back here. It's 2nd and 12. Flacco here on 2nd down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Having an effective short passing game, one of their main concern coming into this one, right there, able to hit the D with a quick strike and a 1st down.
And you're able to put that into your game plan when you see that there's space to throw the football. A lot of defenses don't want to play press coverage or tight coverage. They'll play backed off, and sometimes those cornerbacks will bail out really fast and really get deep. And that allows you to throw the quick game underneath, and they took advantage of it.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, your first drive of the first quarter, you get it down there, try to fire it in the end zone, and big-time deflation on that play.
No doubt about it. They're moving and grooving and getting into position, and this is not the ending that they saw on this drive, is it? They had things going their way.
And he's brought down after a good gain. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. 2nd down following the run.
And again, it's Turbin. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. It's a gain of 17, and it'll give him a 1st down. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to Talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Still first down.
So after the mistake by the offense, it cost him 5 yards. And now 1st and 15. On the run, it's Robert Turbin. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Aaron Donald's secret, if there is one, to his play, his ability to contort his body in such a way that you can't get a good, clean block on it. He slides through holes and slides past blockers and makes plays just as we saw there.
They'll run it now with Turbin. Only 2 yards on the carry. That's going to set up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 15 to be exact.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because then you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense. Still 3rd down.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. On 3rd and long, it's Bortles finding time. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. A 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So, of course, they wanted to find the end zone, but when you go on the road and your first drive results in points, I think you're pretty happy.
You have to be, because you've taken it to the home team in this case. And while you may not have shut up the home crowd, you've quieted them down a little bit. Good way to start.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. Give him 11 on the gain there, and it's good enough for a Tampa Bay first.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary. That led to a really nice gain.
It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
The way he roared up and made that play, that tells me that he spent a lot of time in the film room analyzing what this offense does, and he saw something that convinced him he didn't have to worry about the pass. He could just go right now and make a play. I think if you're the offensive team, you better file that away a little bit. Maybe think about some play action down the road. You might catch him deep.
2nd down, Flacco now. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Give him 30 yards there.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield. Those guys made that play possible.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Dontari Poe in on the stop. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Thomas, the lone receiver left. To pass, Flacco. And to the left side, Fedorowicz has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. 3rd down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll bring this this one back to the 29.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They begin the drive with Turner. And he's going to get hit at the line of scrimmage and driven backwards. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
After watching that play and result, I go back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator, Brandon, before the game and said, how are you going to move the ball running it against the #1 defense? He gave us no indication, didn't tip his hand at all, so we have to see how this unfolds as this game moves along.
They'll run again here with Turbin. Fighting him off.
Just ran right through the trash.
They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And, boy, the payoff was good.
They'll run here with Turbin. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And there it was right in front of us. Today's NFL, these guys nowadays, they don't just eat up space. They try and get upfield and make plays in the backfield.
Now they'll throw it. Bortles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Eric Decker, the intended target. And it's 3rd down.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or 2 in and bats it away.
And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the 2nd down incompletion. One receiver left is Hilton. From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. And he connects with Ebron. 15 yards through the air and a first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter begins with the Vikings holding the football. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down is Bortles. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Offense still needing 10 yards. 2nd down. Bortles will try again on 2nd down. He's got time. Oh, the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes. Daniil Hunter in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. He didn't get rid of the football there, took the sack. Although that's easier said than done. He can't just chuck the thing sideways into the seats.
No, he really can't because you're not afforded total protection as a quarterback. You have to get outside of the tackle boxes as defined by the NFL, meaning wherever your tackles operate normally, get outside of that and the ball that you throw.
Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose.
Plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is because the great ones, They'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game.
In on the stop, Kevin Minter.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Flacco here on second down. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Now Flacco. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
He's come a long way since his time at Georgia Tech. What did he run at Tech? He ran hitches and go routes, essentially.
Yeah.
I mean, but he ran them really well. He averaged well over 20 yards a catch while he was there. And he still creates downfield in the NFL. That big body and that willingness to go catch the football. He's pretty impressive.
And his friends call him Bebe, the nickname his uncle gave him back in the day. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Thomas, the lone receiver left. On 2nd down, Flacco to throw. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. Dontari Poe in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Well, this has been a pretty sizable drive. They've had some success. Finally, the defensive coordinator found some success of his own.
I think he just simply said enough of that. Okay, they've moved the ball well. We need to force the issue from our end, and that's exactly what he did.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. And finding Fedorowicz. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And in a lot of ways, that catch is expected. Red zone presence, and that one was realized there. You've got to find your tight end in that situation.
And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run with Smallwood. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Here's Flacco. This will be caught at about the 5. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. And time for us to take a break here in the booth. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Larry Ridley. Larry will have highlights and analysis of this first half. I'm guessing mostly defensive highlights that we will see.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. No touchdown scored yet so far.
Yeah, none whatsoever. And, Charles, they get the field goal. Took them a dozen plays, though.
Work with me on this one. You know what I'm about to say, right? Bend but don't break. That's what came into play here for the defense. 12 plays were run at them. They only gave up 3 points. In a lot of ways, that's a win for the defense.
And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Now Bortles surveying the field. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Bortles again here on 2nd and 10. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They run with Turbin, and he'll get this. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Michael Kanan now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fielded at the 33. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you'd wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of a game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
2nd and 10. Flacco once more. This will be caught just inside the 10. And Benjamin seems to be in some pain. You see him there, still down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is a 26-yard attempt. Carpenter knocks it through, and they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So they kick it through to take the lead. There is a little bit of time left, though, here in the 2nd quarter.
And while they're concerned about not giving up a big return or giving up points themselves going into the half, how good do they feel, though, putting points on the board themselves right near the end of the 1st half?
handoff to start it out to Turbin. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Hilton, the lone receiver, right. Bortles to throw on second down. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. A final shot before half for Bortles. He's going to loft one deep, and that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. So if you... Hey, Charles, will you give me water? Oh, geez, Chuck, they cut off the halftime show again. Quicker than anticipated, ready for the start of the second half. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters, as I also like to call them. You've done...
Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And the Vikings pick up the football. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line.
I know that taking care of the football is something that's drummed into every guy who plays this position, no matter what, whether he's running it, in the pocket, out of the pocket. But it's almost surprising to me that there aren't more fumbles by that position because of the way that they get attacked on each and every play.
Yeah, well, he had the fumble last week. Now here's 2 weeks in a row with a fumble loss.
Concentration has got to be there, and he's got to understand how much time he has to take care of a play, and maybe his clock is off just a little bit.
Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robert Turbin, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings are going to retake the lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Oftentimes when you're not winning at the point of attack for an offensive line, maybe they're getting out physical. Spread things out a little bit, make it more of a one-on-one blocking scheme. Then you don't have to win it physically. You just have to win it by position. That may open things up for your running backs.
Flacco here on second down. Now a hit, and Flacco drops the football. It's loose. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And they'll go on the ground. And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. And you're not allowed to climb. You got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there. And a really nice play resulted for them. I'm not sure they could have had a better call there for the defense. Blitz was called, and they're setting up for a draw. When you're blitzing, you're likely to beat them to the punch because they're going to take a little extra time to set up. Talk about the offensive line. In this case, you'll get into the backfield before they can get set up.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. A dump down to Turbin. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
And a big face mask penalty here, 15 yards.
You never want to get your hands up in the face mask area because your fingers can get tangled up there, and that can hurt you as a player.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Defense.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
To pass, Flacco. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. 1st and 10, and Flacco looking to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Once more, it's Flacco. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
Flacco looks to throw, and he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times, because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
Yeah, not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20. And the evidence shows last week's game, it's really leaked into a second game now, Charles. What do you think of this?
And it's a surprise, isn't it? Because when we spent time watching them practice, talking with the coaches, they felt like a bounce back was going to happen this week. They were very confident in the game plan, thought the defenses they would see would present great opportunities for big-time runs. We're not getting that so far. I don't know if this is a game plan, but they're just being overwhelmed by the defense they're facing.
It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's first and goal. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage, look defensively. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Devontae Freeman. Touchdown number 15 of the year. And the Buccaneers have once again taken the lead.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had two previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now out comes Minnesota. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that, because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive. And on 2nd and 10 now. On play action, it's Bortles. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down. So incomplete on 2nd down. Now they'll look to convert here on 3rd. Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. And he is going to be hit and taken down. Bortles sacked. Daniil Hunter in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Here's Michael Kanan now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 23. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On 2nd down, Freeman. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. A break from the ground game here. Flacco. And incomplete. C.J. Fedorowicz, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. Now Flacco. Over the middle, open is Thomas. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Back now in Tampa. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. First and 10 here for Flacco. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And when you've already thrown 2 interceptions, you got to take extra special care of the football because that one could very easily have been a 3rd.
Yeah, off balance, pressure coming. Probably just has to stick that one in his pocket, right?
He does. I just think that when he's in a rut like this, I think this happens to a lot of quarterbacks, they try and overcome it by making big-time throws. Throws they know they shouldn't make, but they're hoping to complete them rather than having the confidence that they actually will. I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there you might out of a smaller back. Now it's Flacco. Stays on his feet. He goes underneath to Freeman. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
They got the completion, but they didn't get the first down. So you got to think if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're pretty happy with what you just accomplished there.
Yeah, guy, like you said, got him out of bounds, stopped the clock, kept him short of the marker. And Carpenter knocks it through, and high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area. In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but they have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks. Those guys are worth their weight in gold.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. So this is the 2nd consecutive week, as you look at the numbers, that he just doesn't seem to have the same pop as we normally see him with.
Is there an injury we don't know about?
That's what I'm wondering.
Because that's a legitimate question right now. We're used to speed, power, all coming together. And what I've always loved about him is his vision. You know, last week he didn't have that as well. Always thought he was picking the wrong hole to try and run through. And his blockers, they seem to be getting him to the right place, but he picked the wrong spot. We're seeing some of that again this week. Can they snap it together? Can they get back in sync? Because normally we see them go together very, very well. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Pulled in at the 24. 12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And the Buccaneers getting ready to go as they take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it? Touchdowns. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Second down, Flacco now. That's complete. It's Gordon. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. On the counter, Devontae Freeman. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Flacco off play action. Flush to his right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Josh Gordon, the intended receiver. And that takes us from second to third down. Incomplete pass on second down. Let's see what the offense draws up here on third. Third down, Flacco needs a decent chunk of yardage. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a two-score game. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
Carpenter now, after the made field goal, will kick this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive. It wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now Bortles throwing on second down. Finding time. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third. Defense looking to hold serve one last time here on 3rd and 7. Throwing his Bortles on third down. To the right side to Eric Ebron. Oh, what a juke into space. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. And in a two-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll try and run. This is Turbin. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Robert Turbin with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And the lead is down to 2. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Buccaneer football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On second down, Flacco to throw. Swings it out to the flat for Freeman. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop. Thomas, the lone receiver, left. Setting to throw. Flacco. Hard throw. Incomplete. Trying to get that in the hands of Devontae Freeman that time. And fourth down coming up. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this will be touchdown inside the 20. They'll spot it at the 18-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're going to need another score. Got one last time, but still down here.
When you're playing catch-up, every possession becomes crucial, doesn't it? It's vital. Get back out on the field, punch in the end zone again. They know it's not easy, but what they do have going for them, they did score the last time. They think they've got a good formula working.
And what about the defense?
Well, now you're just saying to yourself, okay, gave up a score last time. What adjustments do we need to make to slow them down now and get the ball back for our own offense? Is it more pressure? Is it more zone? What do they have to do? They're trying to figure that out themselves.
We'll see if they can figure that out right here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
They'll run with Freeman here to begin the drive. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. And another timeout called by the Vikings now. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Second down, Smallwood. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside.
And they insert their dime package, 6 DBs here on 3rd and 6.
Expecting pass all the way. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. 5 yards on the screen, but that'll take us to 4th down.
The screen was executed and completed, but where's the worry on the play? How many times is a quarterback going to get hit? Because offensive linemen have to do an acting job of making sure it looks like they're whiffing on blocks. But you got to slow them down a little bit, because if you don't, that's a lot of big guys coming at your quarterback in a big, fast way. And, boy, he can get hurt.
Here's Ryan Allen now as he'll punt it away for the second time. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. Here's Ryan Allen now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. So the D-line's going to spread out. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And that is going to seal this victory as time runs out. Well, we were on hand for a fun and entertaining game here, coming down really to that last play. Great job defensively to get the pick and seal it.
And we know that every play during a game matters. You're never sure.
bunch of poor boys, daddies, girls, children of the cornfield, trying to turn a shift job into a dollar bill. We wear the muddy boots, stay true to how we're raised. Ain't nothing bad